A 12-year-old girl was found trying to poison her own mother over a confiscated iPhone twice. Boulder, Colorado authorities have revealed the story of this 12-year-old who has been sent to the juvenile jail after she added bleach to her mother's drink after she got her smartphone confiscated. According to the Boulder District Attorney, it is up to him to decide whether or not this girl is going to face charges as an adult or as a juvenile. The authorities have so far revealed that the first attempt was made in early March when the girl spiked her mother's smoothie with bleach. But then the mother smelled something off before she got to drink it all. However, she did fall ill after that and thought it was because the glass hadn't been rinsed properly. Another attempt was made a week later when the girl added bleach to the water carafe and the mother was again able to figure out that something was going on. Nick, this sounds funny, sad, enraging, and it's confusing, but it's a reality that today kids are so attached to their smartphones that it's scary, literally scary.
That if their mom touches it, they'll kill their mom.
It's not the first, this is not the only case. It's like you will think that
really?
this is
Because I was about to say that this is an isolated case. Let's not make assumptions.
You might think that this is an isolated incident. There's been several lately in the last few years. There have been increasing reports of violence from kids that get their internet privileges caught or access to video games. If you go to YouTube and look around, you'll find these crazy videos of kids reacting to how they take their devices away. It's very frightening to see that the younger generations are completely out of touch with reality to the point that they rather kill their parents than deal with the fact that they won't have the device for a few hours.
Okay, are we gonna get into this whole argument about kids should play less things that involve technology? They should be outside more and play more sports.
Well, I think there's no argument there. They should be doing that.
Right. I agree with you, and I don't like when I see little kids on their parents' iPads all day playing games. I think that's ridiculous. But these kids have clear anger issues. This is what if they were outdoorsy kids? If you took away their soccer ball, they would probably try to kill their parents too. I don't think it's a matter of whether are phones making them mad. That's not
what the American Academy of Pediatrics say. What they say, and the research that they have been endorsing and the research that they have been compiling says that, a few facts, 75% of kids between 12 and 17 own cell phones.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. So let's assume that 3/4 of all the teenagers are connected. The average 8 to 10-year-old spends nearly 8 hours in front of a screen.
Oh, God.
A third of the whole day. 1/3 they sleep, the other third they go to school and eat, and the other third they're on devices. That's scary. Kids with TV on the room, that's old news. All the kids have a TV where they can watch. So what they're saying is, the researchers are saying that this is a problem because the brain of these kids is still in development. The brain does not stop developing itself till you're about 25 years old. So imagine what is going on for these kids that might have 5 or 6 years already under their belt of heavy tablet or phone use. Their brain tends, according to the research, to lead them to obesity, lack of sleep, school problems, aggression, and other behavior that is correlated with addiction.
So you answered my argument here, saying, is it the phone or being outside? What's the difference? Maybe they're just angry kids. It actually physically,
it has a physical effect of the phone, of the screen time in the brain of these kids,
on top of
changing their behavior.
On top of all that, the kids aren't out playing sports during those hours that their nose is pressed to a screen, right? So there's that to take into account as well. There you go.
And the behavior that it triggers, that's another part of it. Some of it is the biological effects of using a smartphone for 10, 12 hours a day. That can be seen in adults or kids, because this is not something that we're talking about kids because we're seeing the story of this girl addicted to her phone so much that is willing to go and commit a crime. Adults do the same thing. We see in China the rise of internet addiction clinics and how people are dying on internet cafes because they go and play these video games for days on. And what we're seeing is we've become we develop a behavior where we stop eating, we stop sleeping, we stop talking to others, we stop being aware of our surroundings in order to be connected. The famous fear of missing out, the FOMO.
But here you go. This is exactly what you're going to be nagging about when you're old and you're seeing your grandkids and you're sitting there saying, you know, you kids nowadays, that's what we're going to be yelling at them about. I always wondered.
I was the first generation that had a Game Boy.
Yeah, but
so
there's
I
a
was
difference. Okay, there's a difference.
It started there. I think that it started there when the personal entertainment devices came around.
Well, that's true. And I used to play Mario Kart and I
Yeah?
loved it. But at the same time, there's a big difference between that and a little kid playing these games hours on end. My mom wouldn't let me play the N64. If I played for an hour, you know, she's yelling at me, what are you doing with your life? Go get a job, even though 7.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The thing is that the brain can't tell the difference in between a real interaction and a virtual interaction.
Yeah.
So when you are in, let's say now the social games, most of them you can play online with other people. So you get your headphones and you play your game and you're talking to other people. Your brain assumes that you are with real people.
That's
it
true.
it doesn't allow you to differentiate from your virtual friends to your real friends. So your brain genuinely gets addicted to dopamine the more we use these devices. So it's scary, and it's something that parents and parents and adults, either if they have kids or not, they need to look into what it's doing to our behavior and to our health to spend so much time connected.
And
to
it's
devices.
happening during a developmental part of their life, so that's why it's so terrible, yeah.
So we want to know, what do you think? Do you think it's wrong for these kids to be glued to their devices so much that it changes their behavior to the point that they want to kill their parents, literally, if they don't give their phones back? Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't, subscribe to the Lip TV.